question remains, why in 1945 the British voters chose...
Sorry I'm late, sir.
This isn't late, Janice. Think of it as early for lunch.
It wasn't my fault. The subway stalled. We were all trapped in the dark for 40 minutes. Luckily, I had my cello. Can you believe not one person knew the words to Kommt ein Schlangen Berschgegangen?
That's why I keep out of the subway. Gangs and cellists.
Let's get back to the British elections. Now, in 1945, the voters chose to reject Churchill, a man who earlier they perceived to have won the war.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. Churchill didn't win the war. A computer won the war.
I can think of a number of veterans organizations that would argue with that.
But Colossus made a major contribution.
Colossus? The movie starring Victor Mature?
No. Colossus was the first electronic computer ever built. They used it to break the enemy code. That's what made the difference.
No. The people that built the computer made the difference. See, people build machines.
Machines build machines.
People build machines to build machines. Should I put that on the board for you?
You're right. He is resisting it.
Resisting what?
Admit it, Mr. Moore. You get weirded out every time we talk about computers.
No, it's not talking about them, it's talking to them, naming them. Good morning, Fred. Good morning, Wilma.
No, that's Fred. This is Wilma.
How do you tell them apart?
You have to lift them up.
He is computerphobic.
I am not computerphobic. I realize that computers have a place in our world, which in my case seems to be to screw up my phone bills, scratch my plane reservations, and scramble my bank statements.
Well, just because of a few little inconveniences, you're ready to trash the miracle of our time?
Yeah, you know, in a few years, computers will take us to places like Jupiter.
Yes, and my baggage will be on Mars.
Mr. Moore, you're overreacting.
Really? What about baseball? Now we have a computer in the dugout that tells us Dave Winfield can bat .300 against pitchers named Al.
So what is wrong with that?
Well, it doesn't leave room for characters, like Yogi Berra. Here's a guy who once said, baseball is 50% luck, 50% physical, and the other 10% is mental.
But, Mr. Moore, that doesn't make any sense.
But it's baseball. It's human. Computers are for banking, which brings me back to my bank statement.
Well, I think that what Mr. Moore is saying is that for the sake of efficiency, well, we're losing a little bit of our humanity.
Exactly. Thank you, Simone.
But you're wrong.
Look, I don't know how this degenerated into a discussion about computers, but we are a history class, and tomorrow we're going to keep talking about real, live, dead people.
Okay, Mr. Moore, but you really should give Wilma a try. Many teachers have come to enjoy the wonderful world of word processing.
Thank you, Dennis, but this is my word processor. I've been using it for years. It's the entry mode, delete, and if it goes down, I just buy another dozen. They're cheap. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, no. I hate it when this happens. An anonymous love note.
Ooh, let me see. Turn me on, my teacher, every day you do. Light me up with wisdom from the soul of you. Charlie, there's more. I gotta show this to Carol.
Why don't we just turn on the PA, read it to the whole school?
Oh, Charlie, I'm very sorry. So, what are you gonna do about it?
Poetry. Simone. I think it's best to stop these things before they start.
Churchill was elected prime minister again in 1951, and during his years out of office, he wrote his series of 6 books on World War II.
If he had had a word processor, he could have written 12 books.
Yeah, and Moses could have written the 20 Commandments.
Sorry to interrupt, but not very. Just had a little coup I want to inform the class of.
Well, congratulations. Which country?
Please save your jokes for someone who thinks you're funny. Big news, gang.
A hush falls over the crowd.
I have secured 3 entire pages of the yearbook exclusively for my honors program. I need a biography from each of you to go next to your color photographs.
You're a wonderful person, Dr.
The only other color photograph in the entire yearbook is of Mrs. Candlish. That's because she died.
Sensitive gesture, Dr. Samuel.
So fill out these forms. I need them ASAP or sooner. 1250 BC, Alan.
Trojan War.
First person to calculate the circumference of the Earth, the big A.
Ptolemy, 145 AD.
A well-oiled machine.
Name, age, clubs, hobbies, awards. This is exciting stuff, guys. Don't forget to list your shoe size.
That's the way Dr. Samuels wants it. Well, let me rephrase that. If we don't do it Dr. Samuels' way, he'll kill us.
Well, what about how you feel? I mean, the stuff that's exciting to you.
Like what?
Dennis, if you could speak to the entire world, what would you say?
Let's work together to help stop the spread of country music.
Alan, what's your favorite movie?
Cattle Queen of Montana. Yeah, that's when President Reagan was real young and vibrant.
Janice, what's your dream in life?
To colonize another planet entirely out of Legos.
Interesting. You see, that's the real person. Of course, if that's too radical for you, you can always do it in the old, dull way. Okay, don't forget tomorrow, women in the workforce during the war, post-war years. And Simone, I need to see you for a moment.
Oh, of course.
Have a seat, please. Simone, one of your greatest gifts is your romantic vision of life. I think it comes through very clearly in your poetry. You know what I mean. Poetry as a means of communication.
Oh, yeah. Give me a kiss.
What?
And to that kiss a score. And then to that 20, add 100 more. 1,000 to that 100, so kiss on.
Simone.
Robert Herrick, English 17th century.
Right. You have a wonderful quality, Simone, and I hope it's something you never, ever lose.
Well, Robert Lowell said, we poets in our youth begin in sadness. Thereof in the end come despondency and madness.
Correct. Simone, you see, sometimes we tend to put people we admire up on a pedestal. Now, when I was in junior high, I had a teacher named Miss Barringer, and I was convinced that I was in love with her. I think you know what I'm saying.
Pablo Neruda said it. I could write the saddest poem tonight.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Does this look familiar?
Yes. The rhyme scheme looks familiar. Blank A, on the simple trochaic rhythm.
No, it's not a test, Simone. Thank you very much. I was just having trouble placing this poem and thought maybe you were the person to ask.
Oh, well, it's not any major poet. I mean, turn me on my teacher. I'd try either a Hallmark card or maybe Luther Vandross.
Luther Vandross.
Well, did you nip it in the bud?
Wrong bud. Where do these notes come from, anyway?
Oh, the office computer, which your basic lovesick teenager can program from any terminal in the building.
That's great. That narrows it down to about 1,200 girls.
Only your honest program uses in the first period.
That narrows it down to 5. Make it 4. I only have 1 note. Make it 2. This is getting serious, you know. I've been here before. The worst thing you can do is ignore this. How long I searched my memory for one as worldly wise as thee, but ended is love's calculus, for I know there's a place for us.
Yeah, the last line sounds familiar.
Yes, it sounds like a song from West Side Story.
Well, maybe that's a hint. Maybe she's into musical comedy.
Bernadette, West Side Story is hardly a comedy. I mean, almost everyone dies. Bernardo, Riff, Tony. Only one left alive is... Maria, one of your greatest gifts is your unique vision of the human condition, and it's something that I hope you never, ever lose.
Yeah, so?
But sometimes we put those we admire up on pedestals.
Oh, how'd you know?
I have, I don't know, call it a gift. 6 cents for these things.
You know, it's like you're so in touch with your feelings. You get to see right through me, right?
Maria, when I was in junior high, I had a teacher named Miss Barringer, and...
And you loved her, right?
Right.
And you didn't know how to tell her, right?
Right.
Oh my God, that's exactly how I feel. I think I'm in love.
Maria.
With David.
David?
Of course, David. Who do you think I was talking about?
Well, I didn't know the guy's name. I sensed there was somebody.
David Mockowitz isn't just somebody. He is only the most incredible-looking guy in the whole entire senior class. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, I don't even think he knows I'm alive. I mean, I know he knows I'm alive, but I don't think he's happy about it.
Maria, if there's anything I can do to help, you know, sometimes when a girl wants a boy to notice her, she sends him a note.
A note? Mr. Moore, that is so Darlene.
Morning, Mr. Moore.
Morning, Janice.
Oh.
Okay, Mr. Moore, this is funny. How many computer programmers does it take to change a light bulb?
I give up, Dennis. How many?
Can't be done. It's a hardware problem. Oh, you don't get it, do you? I'll explain it later.
That's a super jacket, Mr. Moore. You look really hot.
Well, not at all, Darlene. It's linen. It breathes.
When I say hot, I mean, you know, cool. I really admire the way you dress.
Darlene.
Yeah, me too. At your age, you got guts.
Well, so how are we this morning, all of us?
Mr. Moore, I started my bio. Is this what you meant?
I don't know. Let's hear it.
Arvid thinks of himself as the floating variable, riding the surf of advanced algebra, trying to find the perfect geometric waveform.
I like it, Arvid. I mean, it's the right idea. I'm learning more about you.
Mr. Moore, I see what you're going for. This could be interesting.
Mr. Moore always has great ideas.
This is so dumb. Who can't do this?
Do it.
No.
Come along, Eddie. Let you try it, please.
At age 5, I was the leader of my own gang. No, really. We robbed liquor stores with low counters. At age 6, I was back in prison. It was good to see Ma again.
That isn't what you meant, is it? I mean, he said all lies.
Well, it's okay, because sometimes a lie tells you more about a person than the truth.
That's a really good answer, Mr. Moore.
In everything you do. And it's something I hope you never, ever lose. But sometimes we put people we admire up on pedestals.
I think I know what it is you're talking about.
So glad.
Well, it's something I've had to deal with my whole life. It's part of being, well, let's just say, extremely attractive. Men fall for me, but I know that they're only falling for what I represent.
Well, actually, Darlene,
A physical and intellectual ideal. Something that they can never, ever have. So I try to let them down easy, Mr. Moore. But sometimes, yes, I can be cruel.
Cruel?
Look, Mr. Moore, I am flattered. I am. But you're gonna have to forget it.
Mr. Moore, I just wanted to tell you that you have a romantic quality in life, and it's something I hope you never, ever lose.
What?
Well, I just wanted to be the one to say it first.
Excuse me?
Oh, the notes. Well, I was next on your list, wasn't I? Well, I just wanted to tell you I'm not the one who wrote them either.
So, you know about the notes?
Well, we all do, and we know who wrote them.
Who?
Well, I can't tell you. But don't lose heart, Mr. Moore. You will figure it out.
I'm the only one left is Janice. Janice?
Hi, Mr. Moore.
Hi, Janice.
Mr. Moore,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moore, I've read these kooky bios from my honors class, and I don't recognize anyone.
Well, perhaps you should get to know them better.
What did you tell them?
I told them to have fun.
This isn't a ski trip, Mr. Moore. It's an assignment. Who cares if Simone thinks she was Balzac in a former life?
I thought that was pretty creative.
I don't want creativity. I want clubs. I want achievements. I want prizes.
Ah, don't give up hope. Your life isn't over yet.
You sure know how to handle the big guy.
Part of the job.
Oh, what's happening with the mystery groupie?
Well, actually, the mystery is solved. It seems it's little Janice.
Janice? Oh, you got a problem. I mean, what do you say to a 10-year-old genius to let her down easy?
Thanks for coming in early, Janice. I really don't know how to say this.
Is it a big word like polytetrafluoroethylene? Just say Teflon.
No. What I don't know how to. I'm trying to say that you're starting to grow up.
Yeah, I'm 4'8½". That's 1.4351 meters.
No, I meant emotionally. I mean, you're practically a teenager, and you know how they get.
Yeah, pimples, braces, and then they expect you to kiss them. Maybe I'll get lucky and die first.
I'll start again. Janice, you're a very nice little girl. You've got a wonderful life ahead of you. You're very special, and someday you'll meet someone, and you won't even remember my name.
I'm a genius. How could I forget more?
Okay, let me put this as sensitively as I can. Have you been sending me love notes?
Barf? Oh, Rama. Me? You thought it was me.
Call me crazy, but...
Maybe someday I wouldn't mind going out with an older man. Once I start going out, that is. But not with an old man.
Okay, so you didn't write it.
No.
But you know who did.
Yeah.
I suppose you can't tell me.
No.
Why me?
Maybe I can help. Where have the messages been coming from?
From the main computer in the principal's office.
Okay, we'll start there. If we access the computer's memory and trace each note to its source terminal...
Thanks, Janice, but I think a human problem deserves a human solution.
You want to do it the hard way? I'll give you a hint. It's not a student.
If this is your idea of a joke, it's in bad taste. Now, if it's true, I'm free for dinner on Wednesday.
Charlie, you think that I wrote you the notes? Could you just let me down real quickly? I got a lot of things to do.
Sure, I'd love to.
Okay, thanks.
It'll never work between us, Bernadette. You're administration, I'm faculty. You read the Post, I read the Times. Why is this happening to me? I mean, who is doing this?
I don't know, but that's probably for you. They usually come in around this time.
Yeah. I got it. I know who it is. And she's going to love these flowers. My little angels.
Good morning, Mr. Moore.
Good morning, class. These are not for you. They're not for you. They're not for you. They're not for you. And they're not for you. They are for you.
Pour moi? You shouldn't have.
I didn't. They're for Wilma.
He figured it out!
It took him long enough.
I built computers in less time.
I'm sorry it took me so long to deduce it was you, Wilma.
How'd you figure it out, Mr. Moore?
Well, two different worlds, that's you and me, yet we share the same electricity. I need your touch so I might glow.
Dennis and the girls really had you going, huh, Mr. Moore?
It was hard to keep a straight face. We tend to put the people that we admire on pedestals. I mean, I almost lost it.
I'm not really in love with David Markowitz.
Good, Maria. A boy like that, he'd kill your brother. Luther Vandross? Wilma, all of you, I appreciate what you've done, and I guess I'm about to turn on my first computer.
Well, welcome to the 20th century, Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, apparently you don't listen. Eisenhower, a picture of a bunny rabbit, Balzac, there's no clubs or grades here.
It's them. It's what they want to say about themselves.
This is my yearbook.
No, it's their yearbook. Yours was 1950.
I think tomorrow I'm going to call the Board of Education and have them check out your license.
I see a wonderful life in the future for us, Wilma. And if you love me like you say you do, prove it. Just tell me who's messing up my phone bills.
I think I'm calling them now.